University, and I became inspired to do a documentary after seeing the tremendous impact the Invisible Children documentary Rough Cut had on me and so many other people. It just made sense for me to do a documentary to encapsulate my 2-year research project into my own documentary after seeing the tremendous impact film has on so many people. I put together a documentary to show my progress in becoming an advocate for the cause of children's human rights in Africa. And I also wanted to share my journey with others to possibly provide a roadmap for others seeking to become activists for a cause they also care about. This being my first documentary, and having only spent 2 years researching and studying this tremendous and immense topic, I am by no means saying that I am the expert or that my advice is the only advice to take. This is just what I think and what I think is best and what I learned from my progress. In addition, many of my interviews were conducted in South Africa. This is only one of the over 50 states on the continent of Africa. Thus, the issues, causes, contributors, and solutions that are mentioned in this documentary are by no means predictive or conclusive of the entire continent of Africa. But in my extensive research on many parts of Africa, I discovered many of the same issues and trends throughout the continent. So, I wanted to share these agency leaders' expertise because it fit many of the children's issues I had found throughout many African countries. My documentary has 4 different chapters, which follow the 4 steps I think are necessary to take in becoming a true activist for a cause. I use the imagery of war throughout my documentary, as seen with the title of my documentary, because my initial interest, or you could say gateway, into discovering my passion was through activism against child soldiering. And then later I identified a new definition of war for myself, which I will later discuss in my documentary. This new definition of war became the centerpiece of my research and my passion for African children. Thus, my documentary shows my exploration into the war being waged against Africa's children, and how I am trying and continue to try to find ways to become a foot soldier on the ground for this cause.
To keep yourself quite sensitive to these issues of cultural and otherness issues that stick to the most basic human techniques that we all have. For instance, one of them is listening. Listening is listening. It doesn't matter where you go in the world. If you give somebody an ear, that's an ear. It doesn't matter where, you'll never go wrong. So if you stick to those basic human skills that you have, and then you can actually ask the other people who are there about the other skills, and then you learn from there. For me, then you'll never go wrong.
Generally speaking, when children are neglected, some kind of physical abuse happens. We have a case, and then obviously it remains, anonymous, but it was a neglect plus physical abuse. So the mother was neglecting the children, not feeding the children, not taking care of the children, but she was also chaining the children to the bed because she felt that they were too out of hand. So in order to restrain them, she would tie them to the bed. That kind of physical abuse, But it was also coupled, like I said, with not taking care of them. That I know that at some point she poured boiling water on one of the children because she just felt okay, he was really out of hand.
Wow.
So that kind of physical abuse.
Because look, where do you begin to tell somebody to believe themselves if they coming from starvation, when they slept without eating, when they have no parents, when they have no education, when they don't just see future. Every time they wake up, they just feel down. They just feel like they should die. Where do you begin to tell somebody to believe themselves in that? And then where do you begin to educate people about HIV and AIDS in this kind of environment? You see, the moment we get a system that is going to allow people to be able to listen, allow people to be happy, allow people to say, hey, I'm happy to wake up today, I'm happy to see today, I'm working, I'm studying, You know, I have food in my table. You know, I have a small garden, but it works. You know, it feeds me. It feeds my family. So the moment we have a system that makes people feel that way, that is when every system implemented in this country is going to work. Now, what does it mean? It means that people must be empowered. We need skills development. We need youth development. We need community development. You see, everybody that does social working or social sciences or social development, now those people have a big role to play in terms of finding the skills gap needed in the communities or in the country, so that when information such as HIV information, HIV education comes, it comes to a very fertile ground in that individual's brain, so that, you know, we can look at things positively, even if it's negative, but maybe people becomes pessimistic, optimistic people. Put it that way, maybe. You know what I mean? So that's what we need to have.
If they cut our fresh now, the same blood will come out. Then why are you just, if I near you, you will shift me, you will talk to me like I'm not a human being. I'm not a animal. I'm a human being like you. Why are you treating me like this? Then we exchange words. They call the manager. The manager come ask. I asked the manager to ask her whether if I've offended her, he should tell me so that I will say sorry. But I've not done that. Only that she said that I cannot speak good English. Yes, Nigeria English with American English is not the same. So I have to learn. And they started mocking me, laughing at me that I cannot write, I cannot speak good English. So it made me shame.